Today we are in my wife's S90, and it is an amazing vehicle. We got this S90 as a lease after I crashed my Volvo S60. Since I'm going through bankruptcy, I can't, and I tried, I can't get approved for any car loan, probably for the next couple of years. With that said, I took her Volkswagen Passat, and she had new credit. So we tried getting a used XC60, and we couldn't. Well, one bank out of multiple approved technically with a condition. So it was denied unless we had $5,000 down, which we didn't. But that one bank was Volvo Financial. And usually the manufacturer's bank, not all manufacturers have a bank, such as Mitsubishi, but for example, Volkswagen Financial, Volvo Financial, I don't know, GM Financial, I think. So anyways, Volvo Financial said maybe, which meant, okay, well, let's try leasing. And it worked. We got it with pretty much zero down. So what is interesting is we got an amazing deal on this 2023 because there's not a lot of these S90s around. And a lot of people who are probably watching this video might be looking at an S90 and thinking, okay, I don't really see this car around. We were just driving. I dropped her off to work. I'm a little sick, but I'm feeling better. She's unfortunately now getting really sick. So just waiting to pick her back up again. With the way this car drives, it's amazing. It's really a stunning, great, gorgeous looking car. It's super comfortable. It's safe. It's, in my opinion, Volvo is a very reliable brand. Yes, there's certain technological glitches with the new generation. It's not perfect, but it's a premium luxury brand. It's not a Toyota. It's not a Honda. It's going to happen. When you compare this to, say, the next higher up, you're looking at an S90. This is a car that stands out. You are trying to make an image. Not a huge image compared to like a Range Rover or BMW 7 Series or S-Class or something like that. But compared to a lot of those vehicles, the maintenance usually is a lot less. And part of the reliability is the cost of parts. Even if a vehicle is very reliable, but the cost of parts are super expensive, it unfortunately goes down. So again, not a Honda, Toyota, but in the premium segment, not all Volvos are going to be perfect. Every manufacturer is going to have some lemons. It is a very, very good car. This car has treated us very well so far. It has 8,120 miles since we've taken it. It's a 45,000 mile lease total. And with that, you barely see this. You barely see the wagons. We were just driving on the highway and saw a V90 in beautiful blue with the Polestar tuning. Now that one was the older, and they don't make that blue anymore. This one is Polestar tuned. So usually these have 295 horsepower. They're turbocharged. They're 2.0 liter, and they have amazing power output for just a 2.0. And with that, with Polestar, now you have the tuning, which is the one and only approved tuning by the manufacturer that doesn't screw with the warranty. So it has 313 horsepower and added torque to it. And just the way you're sitting in here, I'm a 6'3" gentleman, and I have plenty of room here. In the S60, the older Jet, it was a little tighter. Sorry for the hair, just really got out of bed. And the way you open this now in the new generation, I mean, that's classy. You have plenty of room in the back seats. So this is a plus, which they don't make a core for the S90s. But with this, you can see that it isn't the super smooth leather. Now, one thing I will add is if you go up to the Ultimate, essentially, we've had some complaints where, again, not a huge deal, super minor inconvenience, but some people care, where the seats get a little wrinkly afterwards. So in that case, it's better to have the plus seats if you're one of those people who care, because these seats are a little bit firmer. Some people who don't like sliding around a lot, like my wife who doesn't weigh a lot, these are seats that are better for her. I'm a big guy. I don't really slide. That's not going to happen. Now getting in and out of the car, and usually I wear pants that these seats will grip onto a little bit better. Sometimes can give you a wedgie. So I prefer the seats that are a little smoother. Not a huge deal though, I don't care. You got the wood trim pieces. It is a very, very nice looking car. Similar design to pretty much every other Volvo right now. You know, the XC90, the V90, whatnot. It's a little tighter. The one thing about the V90s and S90s I would say is maybe if they raise them an inch or two just to give you a little bit more space, because they are kind of low to the ground. But again, that probably helps with why when you're driving on the highway, it does feel very nimble. The steering wheel, a lot of people say XC60, XC90, S90, S60. These cars are very easy to maneuver. Now, this car is the longest of the bunch. It's even longer than the XC90. So there is that aspect to it. But I wanted to show you from the outside now. One of my absolute favorite parts about the S90 is just the way it looks. The larger wheels, where previously those would be the inscription wheels. You have your peasant blockers, the curtains. You can raise it in the back as well, so you can see it's up there. The lights, they've adjusted. They're a little darker from the previous gen, but it's just a very nice long car. And this is in the beautiful, the Silver Dawn. And you can see those are pretty nice large rims and good tires, but maybe not the best weather to see it today, but you can see that little sparkle to it. And when you open it up from the back, yeah, a little compartment for ashtray. If you're a cigar smoker, you can use this to move the seats back up. You can also adjust the sunroof, the panoramic. So that is absolutely fascinating. Your 4-zone climate control. We do have a lot of stuff in there because obviously this vehicle is being used, but you do have a lot of room where we had passengers who are even taller than myself who are in this vehicle, in the front, in the rear, and it is an absolutely comfortable ride. We took it on road trips. And then from the front, the camera will make it seem like the lights are flashing, but they're not. It's just a very pretty looking car. You have your headlamp cleaners. The Harman Kardon system is amazing compared to a lot of standard systems out there. Bose, it's got nothing on it. The normal manufacturer sound systems suck. Harman Kardon, even the base Volvo high performance sound system, is a really good sound system, I'd say. So when you compare other premium luxury brands, yeah, the base sound system, I get it. Harman Kardon, okay, it's great, but there's a lot of audiophiles will say, is it worth the $800? I don't know. But once you get up to the Bowers and Wilkins, and the ultimate, if it comes equipped with that, if it has the air suspension, then if someone's really looking for that extra step in luxury, that's when you realize, like, okay, wow, this is pretty competitive here. And the number one thing is, you don't buy a Volvo because you want to be in the best or nothing S-Class and show off, or you want a very fast and nimble BMW. No, you're buying a Volvo because it's safe. That's the number one reason you're buying this. Because if you are driving fast, if something does happen, if someone does crash into you, or you crash into somebody else, you're going to be prepared. You're going to be protected. You're going to be cocooned by these airbags, the side seat airbags, the curved airbags, the steering wheel collapsing and tilting away a little bit further, the brake pedal, the engine mounts collapsing so the engine goes away further from you, the laminated glass, and also for a luxury experience, it's a very quiet vehicle. Volvos are rated very, very quiet. They're not the quietest. Yes, if you go up to an Audi A8, that's very quiet, but it's also a different price point and also a lot less reliable. We've had a lot of Audi A8s, which I've seen the repair bills on those. I've seen 5-figure repair bills. The largest repair bill I ever saw was on an Audi. It wasn't an A8. It was an e-tron. It was over $45,000. So, yeah, that's... I've seen a lot of repair bills. I've seen Range Rover repair bills over $20,000, $30,000. Comfortable cars, very cool cars, but Range Rovers, Jaguars, yikes, pretty unreliable. Some of these Audis, pretty unreliable. So Volvo is a car that probably, unless you've driven Volvo before or know somebody who has, is probably not your first choice. But once you stumble upon it, you're like, okay, this is usually why you go into the richer neighborhoods and you see a bunch of Volvos everywhere. It's not a car that's super flashy. It's a car that's not the most expensive. That's not the craziest to maintain, but it's a premium vehicle. It gives you pretty much everything you need. And the S90 is the luxury one. Out of all the models, the XC90 is the most popular, yes, but the S90 is the one you go with where you know you've made it. You know you could probably get an S-Class 7 Series or Audi A8, but you don't care because the S90 fits all your parameters. And I've had clients comparing those other models, and I've had clients that have bought those vehicles, and I've had clients that have been comparing about the S90. Usually there was something in between. For example, the client who bought the Audi A8 over our S90, reason was power. He wanted more power. And usually that's the one thing where, unfortunately, we just can't beat. If someone's going, our dealership is not too far from one of the largest in Illinois right now for Mercedes, Porsche, BMW. They have a lot of exotic cars. And if someone's looking at those cars where if their price point, if they're okay paying $150,000 for a fully spec'd out, not even an A8, but you're looking at an S8. I'm sorry, it's just a different car. If you're looking for 500 horsepower, the one thing I could recommend is a recharge version of these. 455 horsepower. They're quick, they're awesome, they're nimble, they're hybrids. They're all mild hybrids now. But if you're just desperate for, I need to go fast constantly, maybe this car isn't the one for you. And thankfully, we don't have a lot of clients like that. And, there's a lot of choices out there in the market. But for someone who's past those days or, still... This is a fast car, but it's not the fastest. So if you're late to work, if you need to go somewhere, it's not like you're going to be behind. It's not like you can't merge onto the highway. No, these are quick cars. There's a little bit of lag, but if you're not looking for the lag, then just go to recharge. I promise you the 455 is more than worth it. So Volvo does give you those options. The one thing is there's no Polestar other than the tuning for the S90s, but that was always their thing. S60s, V60s, and now they got rid of the S60 Polestars for the new year. It's just the V60s and the XC60s. But with this, it is going to be a shame that the S90 will be ending soon. I don't know if 2024 is the last year. Supposedly it's the last year. We'll see. But the new version of this, whatever it'll be, the electric version, will be probably a pretty cool ride, although I will miss the engine-powered ones. I know I probably didn't go super in-depth into this car, but us as owners, well, my wife is the owner, but hopefully after the lease, I want to own this car. I want to be the one that buys it out. Well, she's going to buy it out and then transfer to me and whatnot, but it's just a gorgeous car. I'd love to be able to take this over from her and have this and just drive it till the wheels fall off. Hopefully not literally like my previous car where I told customers I'm going to drive that car till the wheels fall off. And literally the wheel was ripped off because I crashed and went off-road and flew, and I was not expecting that. So hopefully not literally, but I kept my promise. I drove that thing till it was literally undrivable. And the other wheel was bent, and that was a little rough ending for that car. And I wanted to take it back and rebuild it, but the state of Illinois didn't let me, because if it's under 9 years, you're not able to buy back your own salvage cars. So, just an amazing car. Would I recommend buying a Volvo S90? Yes, for the particular buyer. it's not the right fit for everybody. There's been clients who have complained and said, yeah, I don't want this, I'm going to a Genesis, and that's fine. But in my opinion, and we used to have a Genesis Hyundai store at the other dealership Auto Group, and they're comfortable cars. G90s are cool, but they're more expensive. And at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but it's a Hyundai. Yes, they're really luxury cars. They are super quiet. They got an awesome sound system too. They're cool, but it's also for a specific buyer. It's just not for us. You know, it's not for me and my wife. We prefer Volvo. At the end of the day, I think Volvo is better than Genesis. You know, that's my opinion. Probably if you're watching this, you're also a Volvo enthusiast, you might agree with that. The one thing I could add is I wish they made, instead of the lounge package only being on the XC90 like they used to, you would now, I wish they gave it as an option of V90s and S90s, because that'd be so cool in an Ultimate with the lounge package instead of this material, which it's soft, but having the suede to it, the nubuck as we call it, the leather nubuck, but and then having leather over here in the leather handles, that is cool. Also for glasswares, I don't know why there's no holder. Yeah, there's a holder accessory, but then it takes away your only door handle. I don't know. That was kind of a weird Volvo engineering thing. You know, no car manufacturer is perfect. So ultimately, having driven this to other states on road trips in the summer, it was fun. It's a car that makes you feel like you've made it. You can relax. You can listen to the jazz music. And once I have this car, this is definitely the cigar car. So anyways, just want to thank you for watching today. Please let me know what your opinions and thoughts are on the S90. And if you have one, what has your experience been like with them? Have a good one. And if you're new, please subscribe.